The word struck like a punch straight to the gut, sharp, brutal, leaving me breathless. I stood frozen in the narrow kitchen of our apartment, the air thick with the mix of burnt toast and her lavender perfume. Lena's eyes, usually soft and golden, had turned cold and distant, cutting through me like shards of ice as she leaned against the counter, arms crossed tight across her chest. The clock on the wall ticked too loudly, every second pounding against my skull. Never with you again. The phrase looped in my head, cruel and senseless. My lips parted, but no sound came out. What did she mean? What had I done? What had she done? My mind scrambled through the morning, searching for clues. We'd woken tangled in the sheets, her laughter quiet and teasing as she made fun of my snoring. But even then, something had been off. Her smile hadn't touched her eyes. When I leaned in to kiss her, she'd pulled away, muttering about her period, her tone sharp and distant. Half joking, I'd asked when I could have her back again. But her answer wasn't a joke. It cut deep. Now, the apartment felt smaller, closing in on me. The chipped mug she loved sat on the counter, lipstick smeared along the rim, a deep red, not her usual pink. My stomach twisted. "Lena," I whispered, barely audible. "What's going on?" She didn't answer, just stared at the floor, fingers nervously picking at the edge of her sweater. The silence between us was thick, suffocating, heavy with things left unsaid. I thought back to the past few weeks. Little signs I'd ignored. Her phone buzzing late into the night. The way she'd swipe messages away too fast. Sudden girls' nights that ended with her stumbling home at dawn. The faint scent of cigarette smoke in her hair, though she didn't smoke. I'd brushed it all off, convincing myself it was nothing. Lena loved me. We built 3 years together. Lazy Sundays, whispered promises, her hand clutching mine at my dad's funeral. But now, her words carved deep into my bones. "Lena, talk to me," I pleaded, stepping closer. She flinched, just a small movement, but enough to splinter my heart. "Is there someone else?" I asked, my voice cracking. Her eyes widened briefly, then hardened. "Don't make this about you, Mark," she snapped, her voice trembling but sharp. "It's not always about you." Her deflection hit me, like a red flag waving in a storm. I wanted to yell, to demand the truth, to shake the lies out of her, but my legs felt like lead. Instead, I sank into a chair, the wood groaning beneath me. The kitchen light flickered, throwing shadows across her face. She looked like a stranger. The hours crawled. Lena left for work, her bag slung over her shoulder, her goodbye curt and distant. I stayed behind, pacing, my eyes catching on every detail that suddenly seemed suspicious. A receipt for a bar I'd never heard of, tucked inside a book. A scarf I didn't recognize, draped over the couch, smelling faintly of cedar and musk. My mind raced for explanations. Maybe she borrowed it. Maybe it was nothing. But the truth gnawed at me, relentless. Heart pounding, I opened her laptop. Guilt burned through me. But I typed her password, our anniversary. It unlocked. My pulse thundered as I scrolled through her messages. And there it was, a thread with Alex. Flirty emojis, late-night messages. A photo of her laughing in a dimly lit bar, his arm around her shoulders. My breath caught in my chest. Alex, her coworker. The one she'd insisted was just a friend. I remembered his handshake, too firm, his smirk too knowing. I wanted to believe it wasn't what it looked like. But the messages were intimate, laced with affection that wasn't mine. "Miss you already?" he'd written the night before. "Can't wait to see you," she'd replied. My vision blurred, rage and heartbreak swirling together. I slammed the laptop shut, the sound cracking through the air like a gunshot. When Lena came home, the tension was suffocating. She dropped her bag, eyes narrowing when she saw my face. "What's wrong with you?" she demanded, defensive. I held up the scarf. "Whose is this, Lena?" Her face paled, but she recovered fast, scoffing. "It's mine. Why are you acting like this?" "Don't lie to me," I said, voice breaking. I saw the messages. Alex. All of it. The words hung in the air like smoke. Her shoulders sagged, guilt flickering across her face, For a heartbeat before she straightened again, jaw clenched. "You went through my stuff?" she snapped. "That's low, Mark." The argument exploded. Words like shrapnel. She accused me of being paranoid, controlling. I accused her of destroying everything we had. "I trusted you." I shouted, voice raw. "I loved you." She flinched, tears welling, but her reply was calm, too calm. "Maybe I needed more than you could give," she whispered. "Maybe I just needed to feel alive." Her confession hit like a sledgehammer, shattering the last of my denial. The late nights, the excuses, the fading warmth. It all made sense now. I'd been holding onto a ghost of her, blind to how far she'd already drifted. But beneath the anger, guilt clawed at me. Had I pushed her away? Been too busy, too distant? The questions tore at my insides. I sank onto the couch, head in my hands. Lena stood across the room, arms wrapped around herself, tears streaking her cheeks. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said softly. "Alex was just there. You were always gone, Mark, always working." Her words cut deep, but she wasn't wrong. I'd been consumed by work, assuming she'd always wait. Silence filled the room. The storm had passed, leaving only wreckage. I looked at her, really looked, but the woman I'd loved was gone. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked quietly. "Why didn't you even try?" She shook her head, voice small. "I don't know." I stood, legs unsteady. "I need time," I said, reaching for my coat. Outside, the night was cold and alive. The city hummed. Car horns, laughter, fragment of a world that didn't care about my collapse. I walked with no direction. The scarf still clutched in my hand, a symbol of everything she'd broken. My heart ached, tore between fury and longing, love and hate. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Lena. "I'm sorry. I'm pregnant. It's not yours." The word seared into my eyes, a final twist of knife. I stopped under a streetlight, its glow stretching my shadow across the pavement. My breath clouded in the cold air. The world tilted, and I laughed. A hollow, broken sound. She had taken everything. My trust, my future, my heart. And yet, standing there alone in the dark, I couldn't stop wondering if I'd ever be able to let her go.